Shifting focus away from that, touching a new milestone, the Indian rupee fell to 72 against the US dollar amid concerns that US President Donald Trump could order additional tariffs on China. This was the 7th consecutive day that the rupee has fallen, its longest losing streak since May 2016. Concerns are looming large as the Trump administration is planning to impose another $200 billion of tariffs on Chinese imports as early as this week, which would mark a significant escalation in the trade dispute between both the countries. Analysts expect the yuan, which has lost more than 6% against the dollar in the past 3 months, will extend its decline if Beijing retaliates. The Indian government has said that it is closely monitoring developments relating to Turkey, which have generated global risk aversion towards emerging market currencies, and India would address any situation arising in the context of the unsettled international environment. Meanwhile, bond yields too gained, tracking the home currency. The 10-year bond yield stood at 8.064% from its previous close of 8.049%. Bond yields and prices, keep in mind, move in opposite directions. So far this year, the rupee has weakened 11.4%, while foreign investors have sold over $260 million and $6 billion in equity and debt markets, respectively. Asian currencies were, however, trading higher. The Indonesian rupiah was up 0.32%. Philippines' peso 0.25%. The Japanese yen by 0.21%. The Singapore dollar and the Taiwan dollar and the South Korean won were up 0.08% each. The Thai baht was up 0.04%. However, China's offshore spot was down 0.13% and China's currency renminbi down 0.09%. Now let's see what other factors are impacting the rupee. Moving on to the other big story that we've been tracking, the 2+2 dialogue. First ever 2+2 dialogue between India and the United States of America. U.S. Secretary of Defense James Mattis met India's Defense Minister Nirmala Sitharaman in India's capital, New Delhi. U.S. Foreign Minister Mike Pompeo also met his Indian counterpart Sushma Swaraj for the high-level dialogue. The two sides held a joint media conference where they emphasized the need to strengthen cooperation between the two countries. India and the U.S. inked a long-negotiated pact under which critical and encrypted defense technologies will be provided to the Indian military by the Americans. The Communications Compatibility Security Agreement, or COMCASA, was signed after the first ever 2+2 talks.
The signing of the Communications Compatibility and Security Agreement, COMCASA, today will enable India to access advanced technologies from the US and enhance India's defense preparedness. Maritime security has been a focus area of our participation and cooperation. To deepen our ties in this area, we will expand our interactions on maritime domain awareness. The United States has renamed its Pacific Command responsible for relations with India as Indo-Pacific Command. Reflecting a wider global participation and partnership, we will also enhance our interactions with the United States military's Central Command.
The United States' Secretary of State said that they are committed to ensure India gets a seat at the table in the Nuclear Suppliers Group, or NSG, a demand India has been making for years.
Thanks to intense advocacy from the United States, 10 years ago today, the Nuclear Suppliers Group voted to allow India to engage in trade in civilian nuclear materials and technologies. That vote and the subsequent Section 123 Civil Nuclear Agreement opened a path for our strategic relationship to grow, bolstered defense and commercial cooperation, and expanded our people-to-people ties. We now look forward to what we can achieve over the next 10 years. In particular, we look forward to finalizing the Westinghouse civil nuclear project that will provide clean and reliable power to millions of Indians.
During the talks, Pompeo said that US-India relations are growing steadily since Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to the US last year. He said, US will support India's rise as a leading global power and welcome New Delhi's equal commitment to this partnership. Pompeo also added that the US is hoping to discuss how India can work with the United States to achieve the fully verifiable denuclearization of North Korea. The issue of H-1B visas granted by America was also raised during the meeting. Although there has been no major change so far in the H-1B visa policy from the American side, the sentiment about tightening of visa norms was a cause of concern for India. India's External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj emphasized on the need to keep people-to-people connect going.
मैंने H-1B वीजा व्यवस्था में प्रस्तावित बदलाव के मुद्दे पर एक संतुलित और संवेदनशील दृष्टिकोण अपनाने के लिए सेक्रेटरी पोम्पियो से अनुरोध किया है, क्योंकि इस प्रकार के फेरबदल से हमारे नवोन्मेष और लोगों के बीच आपसी आदान प्रदान पर बहुत दुष्प्रभाव पड़ेगा, जो हमारे संबंधों को ऊर्जावान बनाने का एक महत्वपूर्ण माध्यम है। और मैंने सेक्रेटरी पोम्पियो से कहा है कि राष्ट्रपति ट्रंप और प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी के बीच में जो मित्रता है, उसका लेकर भारत के लोगों को लगता है कि अमेरिका उनके हितों के खिलाफ कोई काम नहीं करेगा। मैंने कहा है उनको कि भारत के लोगों के इस विश्वास को वो बनाए रखें।
The ministers also called on Pakistan to act against terror groups emanating from its soil. US secretaries asked Pakistan to bring to justice those responsible for the attacks in Mumbai in 2008. They also called on Pakistan to swiftly act against those responsible for the Uri and Pathankot attacks in India.